They want you to follow the herd, society, culture, friends, family, colleagues. They want you to fit in, to conform, to be just like everyone else. They want you to blend in, to act, to think, to feel, to behave the same way everyone else does. They want you to play the same role, follow the same patterns, live the same life. And in doing so, they will keep you weak, they will keep you small, they will keep you under control. But that's not where greatness lives. Greatness doesn't live in the herd. It doesn't exist in the comfort of the predictable, the safe, the conventional. Greatness doesn't dwell in the walls of mediocrity. It lives on the edge. It lives in the spaces where few dare to go. It lives in the unknown, the untamed, the wilderness that most will never walk. Greatness is born in the gap between who you are now and who you could become if you were willing to take the road less traveled. You have been given a mind. You have been given a spirit. You have been given the power to think, to feel, to create, and to break free from the chains of the ordinary. You've been given a choice to conform to the noise of the herd or to step into your own power, to lead, to leave behind the comfort of the masses and create your own destiny. But this is where the challenge begins. The herd is comfortable. It's easy to follow. It's easy to obey. You don't have to think, you don't have to question, you don't have to risk. The herd tells you exactly where to go, how to think, what to buy, what to believe. It spoon feeds you certainty. And so most people, most of society finds solace in it. But it's a false solace. It's the solace of a prison with golden bars. It's the solace of sleepwalking through life. You are not alive in the herd, you are merely existing. You are being carried by the current, drifting from one day to the next without purpose, without meaning, without the fire of ambition in your heart. You are a shadow in the mass, a whisper in the wind. Do you want to live like that? Do you want to fade into the background of this world, watching others take the risks, make the moves, change the world, while you sit idly by, wondering why your life never seems to change? No. You can feel it deep inside you. You were meant for more. You were born for something greater than just fitting in. So, what will you do? Will you continue to follow the herd? Or will you rise above, step outside, and discover the power that lies within you? It begins with awareness. The first step to breaking free from the herd is seeing it for what it is. The herd is a trap. It is a mechanism of control. It operates on fear, conformity, and distraction. It tells you that you are not enough, that you need more, that you are somehow missing something. The herd tells you that you need to look a certain way, think a certain way, act a certain way to be accepted, to be loved, to be safe. It keeps you small by making you believe that your worth is tied to the approval of others, to the judgments of society, to the rules that the herd sets. It keeps you in line by convincing you that there is something wrong with you, that you need to change, that you need to prove yourself. But what if you didn't need to prove yourself? What if you didn't need to conform? What if your value wasn't dependent on how well you fit into the mold? When you begin to question the herd, when you begin to realize that the rules, the limitations, the expectations that you've been living under are not your own, that's when you begin to break free. That's when you begin to step into your power. And once you begin to see it, you can never unsee it. You will start to notice the subtle ways in which society tries to box you in. You will begin to recognize the moments when you are expected to act a certain way, to think a certain way, to believe a certain way. You will see the subtle peer pressure, the quiet expectations, the unspoken rules that govern your every move. And then you realize something powerful. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to follow the crowd. You don't have to be a part of the herd. But this is where the real challenge begins. When you break away from the herd, the world will not be kind to you. They will tell you that you're crazy, that you're foolish, that you're wasting your time. They will tell you that you are not like him, and they will make you feel like that's a bad thing. They will attempt to shame you, to guilt you, to pull you back into the fold. Why? because the herd does not like it when someone dares to break free. The herd fears what it cannot control. The herd fears leaders, innovators, rebels, thinkers. The herd fears the one who dares to go against the grain, to walk a different path, to blaze their own trail. But here's the thing. The herd's fear is not your fear. You see, the herd has lived in its own illusion for so long that it cannot comprehend the power that lies outside its walls. The herd has been conditioned to believe that safety lies in numbers, that strength comes from conformity. But that's a lie. The true strength, the true power, comes from within. It comes from your ability to trust yourself, to trust your vision, to trust your unique journey. It comes from your willingness to step into the unknown, to face the fear, to walk the path less traveled, even when it feels uncomfortable. It comes from the fire in your heart that refuses to be extinguished by the voices of doubt, the whispers of the crowd, the pressure to fit in. And this is where leaders are born. Leaders are not born in the comfort of the herd. Leaders are not made by following the rules. Leaders are born in the wilderness, in the space between who they are and who they could become. Leaders are made by those who dare to think for themselves, who dare to create their own vision, who dare to take the risks that others are too afraid to take. Leadership is not about titles or power. It's not about how many followers you have or how many people praise you. Leadership is about the courage to be yourself, to walk your own path, to challenge the status quo, and to inspire others to do the same. When you leave the herd, you stop being just another face in the crowd. You stop being just another number in the system. You stop being a cog in the machine. Instead, you become the one who leads, the one who stands out, the one who is willing to risk everything to create something new. But this journey is not easy. It's not easy to leave the herd. It's not easy to stand alone. It's not easy to walk a path that nobody else is walking. It's not easy to break free from the expectations of others. But let me ask you this. Is it easier to stay small? Is it easier to live a life of quiet desperation, never daring to dream, never daring to risk? Is it easier to fade into the background and die a slow death of mediocrity? No. The real struggle is in staying small. The real struggle is in living a life that's not truly yours. The real struggle is in denying the fire inside you, the potential that's waiting to be unleashed, the greatness that's just begging to be born. And here's the truth. The world needs your greatness. The world needs your vision. The world needs you to step up, to leave the herd, to stand apart, to lead. The world needs you to be the person you were always meant to be, not the person the herd wants you to be. But to do that, you have to be willing to face the challenges, to endure the loneliness, to take the risks. You have to be willing to walk through the wilderness and trust that even when you can't see the end of the path, you are moving towards something greater. The world is full of sheep, but you are not a sheep. You are a lion. A lion doesn't follow the herd. A lion leads. A lion hunts. A lion makes its own rules. And so, today, the question is, are you ready to leave the herd? Are you ready to step into the wilderness and begin the journey that will lead you to greatness? Are you ready to become the leader you were always meant to be? If the answer is yes, then it's time. Time to leave the herd. Time to step into your power. Time to lead. Because greatness is waiting for you, and it will only find you when you are bold enough to break free. So, step forward. Leave the herd. That's where leaders are born. Now, as you step into this space of self-discovery, let's face the truth. The path ahead is not one of instant gratification. It's not one where the world will cheer you on at every turn. The herd, the system, the collective force of mediocrity will not applaud your courage. No, it will reject you. It will mock you. It will try to pull you back into its comfortable, predictable fold. But here's the question. Will you let it? You must understand that the herd is built on the principles of fear and control. It's a mechanism designed to maintain the status quo, to keep you small, to keep you dependent on the structures that seek to confine you. The herd feeds on your insecurities. It whispers lies into your ear, telling you that you aren't good enough, that you're not worthy, that you can't make a difference. It wants you to believe that greatness is something reserved for a select few, something far out of reach. But this is the lie. The truth is, greatness is not born from external validation. Greatness is not a result of fitting in, of conforming to the mold set by the world. It is a result of daring to step out, to challenge the norms, to push the boundaries. Greatness is the child of the individual who dares to think differently, to act boldly, to break the rules, to reject the world's expectations. It's the result of listening to your own inner voice, even when it is drowned out by the noise of the masses. So, let's speak plainly. You don't need the approval of the herd to be great. You don't need to blend in. You don't need to conform. What you need is a vision, your vision, and the courage to follow it. Regardless of the obstacles that may lie in your way, the world will tell you it's too hard, too dangerous, too risky. But the truth is, it's not risky at all. What's risky is living a life that is not your own. What's dangerous is allowing the herd to define who you are, to dictate your choices, to control your fates. This is the moment where you make the decision. Will you follow the herd, or will you stand up and lead? Will you be swept away by the tide, or will you become the force that shifts the current? Will you continue to seek approval from others, or will you finally decide to live for yourself? This decision, this moment, will define your life. The road less traveled is not easy. The journey of the individual, the one who steps outside the boundaries of society's expectations, is filled with challenges, loneliness, and uncertainty. But there is beauty in that. There is strength in that. There is power in being willing to walk alone when everyone else is too afraid to take a step. In fact, the very fact that you are willing to leave the herd, to break away from the collective, will make you stand out. It will make you a target. People will question your sanity, your motives, your decisions. They will ask why you can't just be like everyone else. They will tell you that you're wasting your time, that you're fighting a losing battle, that you're destined to fail. But let me tell you something. When you walk your own path, when you take control of your own life, when you break free from the herd, you will become something that most people will never understand, a leader. And the world needs leaders. The world needs people who dare to challenge the status quo, who dare to speak the truth, who dare to create change. The world needs you. Because leadership is not about authority. It's not about power or control. Leadership is about vision. It's about inspiration. It's about daring to dream of something greater and then going out and creating it, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Leadership is about creating your own reality, making your own choices, and standing strong in the face of adversity. It's about having the courage to walk alone, even when it feels like the world is against you. And here's the paradox. While it's true that stepping away from the herd can be isolating, it's also the only way to truly find your tribe. The people who are meant to walk with you on this journey will be drawn to your authenticity, your conviction, and your courage. They will not be the people who are trapped in the herd. They will be the ones who, like you, are willing to take risks, to break free from the mold, to pursue their own vision, and to change the world. The path you choose today will change everything. If you choose to stay in the herd, if you choose to play it safe, if you choose to follow the crowd, then you will never experience the life you are truly capable of. You will never experience the exhilaration of breaking free, of standing tall, of leading with purpose. You will never experience the fulfillment that comes from living authentically, from being unapologetically yourself. But if you choose to leave the herd, if you choose to step into your own power, if you choose to embrace your uniqueness and your vision, then everything will change. You will begin to see the world through a new lens. You will begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You will begin to take risks that others would never dare to take. You will begin to attract the people, the opportunities, and the success that are aligned with your purpose. And in time, you will look back at the herd, at the people who stayed in their safe, predictable lives, and you will realize something profound. You were never meant to be one of them. You were meant to lead. To lead is not to follow. It's not to be a copy. It's not to mimic the behaviors of others. To lead is to create, to innovate, to break through the boundaries, to rise above the mediocrity of the herd, and to set a new standard for what's possible. And you are ready to lead. You are ready to leave behind the crowd and create something new, something powerful, something extraordinary. The time is now. The choice is yours. Will you stay with the herd, or will you step into your destiny and lead? The world is waiting for you to make that decision. And when you do, when you choose to walk your own path, when you step outside the box, when you finally break free of the herd, that's when the world will begin to change. Because leaders aren't born from the safety of the herd. They are born from the courage to stand alone, to dare, to risk, and to create a new way. And that, my friend, is where you are going. Leave the herd. That's where leaders are born. Now, you may be wondering, what does it take to truly leave the herd? What does it take to stand up, to break free, to reject the familiar, the comfortable, the easy? And the answer is simple yet complex. It takes a profound shift in mindset. It takes the willingness to see beyond what is in front of you. It takes the courage to walk into the unknown, to embrace uncertainty, to hold your ground in the face of doubt. The first step is to believe that you are worthy of this journey, worthy of stepping into the unknown, worthy of leading. Because the truth is, so many people don't make it because they don't believe they have what it takes. They let fear control them. They let the voices of doubt and insecurity dictate their actions. They let the expectations of others pull them back into the herd. But you have the power to rewrite that script. You have the power to decide once and for all that your life will not be defined by the limitations that others try to place on you. You are not bound by the expectations of your family, your friends, or society. You are not defined by the job you hold, the degree you earned, or the title you wear. You are defined by the choices you make today, the choices you make in this very moment to step away from the herd and take control of your own destiny. Now, understand this. Leaving the herd doesn't mean rejecting everything about society. It doesn't mean turning your back on everything you've ever known. It simply means rejecting the blind obedience, the mindless following, the shallow existence that comes from being trapped in the collective. It means choosing to walk your own path, to listen to your own heart, to trust your own instincts, and to build your life from a place of personal truth and integrity. In the moment you choose to leave the herd, there will be there will be many voices. They will be loud. They will tell you that you're making a mistake. They will tell you to turn back, to follow the crowd, to play it safe. But these voices are not your truth. These voices are the voices of the herd, and they are terrified of losing you. They are terrified of the power you might unlock if you follow your own path. What they fail to understand is that your greatness isn't a threat to them. It's a gift to the world. You aren't being selfish by choosing to lead. You are being selfless because the world needs leaders. The world needs those who are brave enough to forge their own way. The world needs those who are bold enough to refuse to conform. And it's here, in this very moment of choosing to trust yourself, that the transformation begins. When you choose to leave the herd, you are not abandoning the world around you. You are embracing your place in it. You are stepping into your true role as a creator, a leader, and a visionary. It's not easy, but it's worth it. When you step out of the herd, the world will begin to open up in ways you've never imagined. It will begin to align with your new energy, your new mindset, your newfound confidence. Opportunities will start to appear Not because you're lucky, but because you're finally walking in your own power. Your decisions will be more confident, more focused, more clear. You will begin to attract people and circumstances that are meant to help you fulfill your purpose. But the journey doesn't end there. Because once you begin to lead, you become a beacon for others. You become a light in the darkness for those who are still trapped in the herd, still caught in the fog of uncertainty and fear. When you live your truth, others will see it. They will feel it. And they will be inspired to do the same. You become an example of what's possible when someone dares to stand apart, when someone dares to break free. And in doing so, you help others awaken to their own power. This is the beauty of leadership. It's not about domination. It's about liberation. It's about creating a space for others to rise with you. It's about showing the way, not by force, but by example. However, let's be clear, not everyone will follow. And that's okay. Not everyone is ready to leave the herd. Not everyone will understand your journey, your vision, or your decisions. Some people will criticize you, others will judge you, and some will try to pull you back into the fold. This is the cost of leadership, but it is also the reward. Because the more you walk your own path, the more you realize that you don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to fit in. You don't need to follow the herd. All you need is your own vision, your own clarity, and the courage to continue moving forward. And when you do, something magical happens. You will start to see that the universe begins to conspire in your favor. When you choose to lead, the universe will give you opportunities you never thought possible. You will meet the right people, be in the right place at the right time, and experience a flow of energy that feels almost effortless. It's the law of the universe. When you align with your true purpose, when you step into your own power, things begin to fall into place. But this is not magicit, it's the result of intentional action. The universe doesn't reward inaction. It doesn't reward passivity. It rewards those who are willing to take bold steps, to face their fears head on, and to keep going even when the road gets tough. It rewards those who, even in the face of doubt, continue to trust in themselves and their vision. So, let's revisit the question. Will you leave the herd? Will you walk away from the comfort of familiarity, the safety of conformity, and step into the unknown? Will you trust yourself enough to take the leap, to face the fear, to lead? The choice is yours. But remember this, greatness is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are willing to leave the herd behind, to walk into the wilderness, and to claim their place as a true leader. It's for those who are willing to face uncertainty, to stand alone when necessary, and to trust that their path is the right one. It's for those who, no matter the obstacles, will not stop until they have created a life that is their own, a life that reflects their true potential. The world is waiting for you to step into your power. The world is waiting for you to leave the herd, because leaders are not born in comfort. They are made in the fire of self-belief, in the crucible of challenges, and in the courage to stand apart. So go ahead, leave the herd. That's where leaders are born. And now, as you stand on the edge of this choice, this turning point, I want you to feel the weight of what's before you. The world is waiting for you to step up. The herd is counting on you to stay, to remain in line, to follow the beaten path. It is comfortable, it is safe, but it is also empty. It is hollow, and it will never lead you to the place where true greatness lies. The truth is this: you were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to blend in, to fade into the background, to simply exist. You were meant to lead, to rise above the noise, to carve your own path, to break free from the chains that bind you to the familiar and step boldly into your destiny. There's a fire inside you, a fire that has been waiting, a fire that has been quietly smoldering, hidden beneath the weight of doubt, fear, and the expectations of others. But now, that fire is beginning to burn brighter. It's time for it to ignite. It's time for you to stop pretending to be something you are not and start becoming the person you were always meant to be. And that person is a leader. Leaders don't wait for permission. They don't ask for approval. They don't seek validation. They simply walk their path, knowing that the world will either rise to meet them or fall behind them. You don't need the approval of the herd. What you need is the courage to trust yourself, the strength to follow your inner voice, and the determination to keep moving forward no matter what the world says. Right now, in this moment, you have the power to decide, will you remain a spectator in your own life? Will you continue to follow the crowd, staying in the safety of the herd? Or will you step into the unknown, embrace the discomfort of growth, and begin your journey as a leader? The choice is yours. You have the power to change everything. You have the ability to transform your life in ways you cannot even yet imagine. But it all begins with one step, one decision, one choice to leave the herd behind and start walking your own path. And when you make that choice, you will feel it. You will feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. You will feel the freedom that comes with authenticity. You will feel the surge of power as you reclaim your place in the world, as you stand tall, unapologetic, and fearless. You will feel the energy shift as you align with your true purpose, with your destiny, and with the life that you were meant to live. There is no more waiting. There is no more hesitating. The time is now. The world needs leaders. The world needs you to stop hiding, to stop dimming your light, to stop pretending to be small. The world needs your vision, your ideas, your strength. It needs the power that only you can bring. And if you choose to walk the path of a leader, if you choose to break free from the herd, you will not only transform your life, you will transform the world around you. You will inspire those who are still trapped, who are still afraid to step out, to follow in your footsteps. You will become the beacon that guides others to their own greatness. So, now, ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready to leave the herd? Are you ready to claim your place as a leader in this world? Are you ready to embrace the unknown and step boldly into your future? The answer is within you. The power is within you. You have always had what it takes to lead. You have always had the strength, the courage, and the fire to break free. And now you must act. Leave the herd. That's where leaders are born. And that, my friend, is where you will find your greatness.